TikTok just changed again, and I'm not talking about some new feature or trend. I mean a complete shift in how creators are making money. If you've been on the app lately, you've probably seen those AI generated faces,
cloned voices,
or fake product reviews that just look too real. And that's where we are at now. AI is literally rewriting how content gets made and who wins on this platform. But here is the thing that most people don't realize. This isn't the end of creators, it's the opposite. AI is just replacing boring parts of the job, the editing, the repetition, the stuff that used to take hours. And if you understand how to use it, this shift is probably the biggest opportunity TikTok has ever had. For the longest time, TikTok was all about consistency. You could post the same idea in 5 different ways, just changing the text or tweaking the caption, switching a word in the hook, and it would still work. That formula built entire UGC agencies. But now, that approach is dead. Like, literally, it's over, it's dead. TikTok's algorithm has gotten so good at identifying patterns that if your video feels too similar, it will just stop testing them. And once you understand how fast the system adapts, you realize that you can't outsmart it with minor tweaks anymore. Now, the only thing that wins is originality. Like completely new angles, new perspective, new creative worlds that the algorithm can test. And AI made that possible. Before, if you wanted to test 10 different ideas, you would have to film in different setups, have new lighting, new voiceovers, maybe even different talents. It was very time consuming and expensive. But now you can take one base video and instantly remix it with 10 different unique concepts. Different storylines, different audiences, different tones, all generated in minutes. Say you're promoting a portable blender on TikTok Shop. Most people would run one video like blend your smoothies in 10 seconds and done. But inside that one product, there are literally 5 different audiences hiding under the surface. You've got gym people who want something fast before the gym, you have moms who care about convenience and not waking up the baby, students who want something small and aesthetic for their dorm, and travelers who want a quick fix on the go, and you have gift buyers who don't even care about the product, they just want to make it look expensive. AI lets you create full videos for each of these audiences. It's the same product, the same base footage, but completely different context. You can swap the music, change the tone of voice, rewrite the lines that open the video, change the color palettes, switch to a gym background if you want to, or a kitchen, or at the beach, all automatically, and you don't even need to re-record yourself. That's how you can turn one product into 5 to 10 different distinct stories. And that's how you get the algorithm to find you new buyers. Think about it, TikTok isn't just showing your video to people who like blenders, it shows it to people who have micro interest. And if your content only speaks to one of them, you're leaving 90% of the potential reach on the table. The new game isn't how do I make this one video go viral, it's how do I make 10 different versions of this one idea, each that speaks to a different type of person, and then you let TikTok do its job and finding new buyers. And that's what AI gives you real leverage. You can produce at a level that used to require a full creative team. But I want you to keep this in mind. Every variation needs to feel like its own idea. You don't want to have recycled cuts. If one is a POV of when a kid finally drank something healthy for once, the other one might be a mini demo or a review or a comparison. It needs to be a completely different approach, talking to completely different audiences. That's the key. Okay, so the next big shift that AI created is structure. And that's something that a lot of people don't have. Like, if we're being honest, most creators wake up, they have an idea, they film something, they edit it now or maybe later, it sits in draft for maybe a week, and then whenever they feel like posting it, they'll post. And that was okay when TikTok was the Wild West, but now it's gotten way too competitive for that. If your content process looks like chaos, you're leaving so much money on the table. And I get it, most of us didn't get into content to build system. We wanted to create, post, and get views. But the reality is that if you want to scale this thing, you need to think about it like a small media company. And that's why AI, again, changes the whole game. Because it lets you build what I call a content engine. And when you set it up properly, it's like having an assistant, an editor, and a strategist all working in the background for you. And it's pretty simple. I'll break it down into 3 different parts. First, you have the testing engine. This is where all your ideas gets tested. You throw everything in here, 5 to 10 new concepts every single week, and you use AI to speed up the boring parts, like creating script drafts or hook variations, voiceovers. You can even swap the backgrounds. The key here is to not overthink it. You want to just get ideas fast and post them quickly just to see what works. Most creators don't even make it to this step because they spend days polishing one video, and that is just not the game anymore. We don't want perfection, we want volume with direction. You just want a system that keeps fitting TikTok with new inputs. So then the second thing is scaling. Once something performs performs well, you want to graduate from there. This is why you double down on what already works, and you don't just repost the same clip, you rebuild it. So it's the same concept with a different look. It can be a new intro, a new visual, a new tone of voice, a new style. The psychology behind this is that people forget fast, but the algorithm remembers the patterns. If a certain angle hits once, it can hit again, just wrapped up in a new package. You can literally reskin a winning concept in minutes. You can clone your voice, change the product environment, add seasonal touches, or even use a different actor if you're running an AI UGC setup. That's how you take one successful idea and stretch it out across weeks instead of burning it out in 2 days. And the third component is retargeting. This one is slept on, but it's insanely powerful. Here, you take your top performing moments, the best 5 to 8 seconds from all your videos, and you stitch them together in a highlight reel or a shop-ready edits. You add urgency overlays like back in stock or limited bundle, and you run them as retargeting content. You've already proven that these clips work, so now you just compile and repurpose them in a way that keeps selling on autopilot. This is where the real money is made. And when you put these three components together, the testing, scaling, and retargeting, it becomes this loops that runs consistently in the background and keeps on making you money. Every week, you're testing new ideas, doubling down on what works, and recycling what's proven again and again. And again, AI makes this sustainable. It keeps your workflow tight, it labels and organizes everything automatically, and helps you see what works faster than you could ever do manually. Alright, this one is the biggest shift out of all of them. Speed. AI didn't just make content easier to create, it made it faster. And that changes everything. Before, the average creator workflow looked something like you film on Monday, edit on Wednesday, post on Friday, and check results next week. That's a 7-day feedback loop. And in TikTok time, that is like 3 months. By the time you realize what worked, the trend is already over, and now what? You have to start from scratch. However, AI lets you test, analyze, and adapt within 48 to 72 hours. You get data immediately, and if you know how to use that speed, you can outpace 99% of content creators, even the ones that have bigger teams. So let's break this down together. A lot of people think that the algorithm is random, but it's not. It's just moving faster than your content process. If you're still posting once or twice a week, waiting to see what performs, you're already behind, because the algorithm already shifted 3 times while you were still editing your first video. The creators who are winning right now have a rhythm that look like this. Monday and Tuesday, they launch 6 to 10 ideas. Doesn't matter if some of them flop. They're testing everything, new hooks, new voices, new angles. By Wednesday, they check the data, they take the top 2 to 3% and go straight into scaling. The rest of them, they just delete, done, and gone. They forget about it. By Thursday, they reskin their winners, and they get AI to do most of the work for them, like finding new hooks, new backgrounds, maybe even new AI creators. It's the same message with a different look. And then from Friday to Sunday, they clip the highlights, prepping those retargeting edits and line up for the next week's batch. It's a loop that never stops, and it works because they are adapting in real time. Every 72 hours, they are learning something new, which of the hooks format converts the best, which tone of voice performs better, or which visuals holds the most attention. And that's the real edge AI gives you. It compresses time. Before, you needed a week to test 5 different videos, but now you can test 20, if not 50 in a single day. And you don't need to guess anymore. You can literally go live into the market and get feedback within hours. Because on TikTok, the window for attention is shrinking. Trends move in days, not weeks. And whoever can keep up that rhythm, whoever can move the fastest, wins. That is the new advantage. Alright, so let's talk about how to actually do this, because it all sounds cool in theory, but what does it look like to do it in real life? First, you have to start small. You can start with filming a clean product shot with good lighting, a neutral background. On top of that, you'll record one solid voiceover that just explains the product or the offer, and that will become your base layer. It's the thing that you'll keep on remixing. From there, you can use AI to build variations. You can change the tone of voice, swap the visuals, generate new openings, and you can use platforms like Opus, 11 Labs, or ChatGPT to do that. Maybe you'll create one version that sounds more fun and playful, the other one will be more serious and professional, and another one that may be more aesthetic with minimal text, clean vibes, and cinematic music. You can even have AI rewrite the same line 5 times in different ways and then voice clone it with different actors or genders. That one piece of content suddenly becomes a whole batch. So instead of posting one video and waiting to see what works, you can have 5 to 6 unique variations videos, each aimed at different types of viewers. And you can post them across the week, track which one performs best, and slowly build data on what your audience actually responds to. If you do that every week, you're not just posting more content, you're training the algorithm to know exactly who to send your content to, and it becomes that continuous feedback loop. That's literally how you build your own media machine. One product, one voiceover, and infinite variations. Every week, it gets smarter, faster, and becomes more profitable. So yeah, AI is taking over TikTok, but it's not robots are stealing your job type of thing. It's more like creators who understand how to use this are about to scale faster than everybody else. Because once you build a system around it, you can literally turn TikTok into a predictable income stream. And I'm not talking about a few brand deals or viral luck. I'm talking about creators making real money by filming simple videos for products that already sell. If you want to see exactly how that works, how people are turning short TikToks into 5-figure month UGCs, the next video you should watch is here. It's a full breakdown of the systems I use to build a profitable UGC brand step by step. The same structure I teach creators and agencies we work with. Go watch that next. I'll see you there.